I thought Survivor Series was great. I love the Goldberg finish. I think it was very smart. Had they gone out there for about a 10-minute match and kind of been a little bit plotting, or maybe somebody blows up or whatever it may be, I don't think it would have been as effective. It was a shock value, water cooler moment. Everybody's talking about it. It sets up for a huge main event rematch, and we have something to talk about. So I thought it was a great idea. Everyone was shocked. Everyone was surprised. But after thinking about it for about a minute, I realized it was actually a pretty brilliant finish. So congratulations to those guys. Congratulations to Goldberg for coming back and making his mark right away.
It was a great reaction because I didn't expect it. It was a surprise. I thought I would give it, on my personal scale of 1 to 10, an 8. And I told you why, because I thought out of the 5 elements that I think are absolutely critical to any storyline being successful, that being story, anticipation, reality, surprise, and action, that they had 4 out of those 5 story elements really well nailed going into, the pay-per-view. And the 5th one, which was the element of surprise, while they hadn't checked that box going into the match, they certainly double-checked it in the match with that 86-second, surprise ending where Goldberg gets the win. I don't think anybody could have predicted that. I don't think Bill would have predicted it. I don't think Bill would have even hoped for it. So sick of that kind of negative nonsense. It's lazy booking. You know what? It's great booking. There's more buzz around this pay-per-view than there has been about anything since, I don't know, WrestleMania. I mean, it was a big damn deal.
I mean, I didn't see it coming, but when I saw it, it was like shocking. I mean, immediately, the 2 things was, number 1, the crowd loved it. And number 2, it was just like, it was something I didn't think that they would ever do. I never even really thought about them doing it because it's just out of character. But when they did it, it was like, wow, that's great. That is how Bill Goldberg got over. Right. And when they had him in 2003, they decided that didn't work, or it wouldn't work in their company. So, and Bill never was over anywhere close to as much in WWE as he was in WCW, not even a smidgen. Right. But short term, it's easy to get him over because you know exactly how to do it. Right. And they did it. And I give all credit in the world to Brock. He could have thrown a fit. Right. And probably got it changed. But I think Brock and Heyman and everyone like that understood that it's in their best interest for Bill Goldberg to get over. And so you've got Bill Goldberg now as a superstar, without a doubt now. Whereas before, there was some hesitation. Well, we haven't seen him in all these years. You want good guys up and down the show. But this business, when it's at its hottest, is because superstars get over to a huge degree. We saw it with Rock and Austin. We don't, and if you have a chance to make someone a superstar, not everyone can be like that level superstar. Not everyone can be that. Bill was that, and now he is again.
I'm still in shock. To be honest with you, 1 minute and 26 seconds. I don't know. Well, obviously they're going to have a rematch. I'm not there. I'm not behind the scenes. The one thing I do know is that the girls' Raw team had the best match. The girls' Raw team against the girls' SmackDown team was the best match on the show. And I'm not saying that was any prejudice. It really was. They were awesome. It was great. I thought it was great. First of all, they both, it's hard to figure out what goes through Brock's mind. But, it was great for Goldberg. And it's their favorite saying is, what's good for business. They obviously have a great rematch there. And obviously, I've talked to Bill. He wants to work some more. So there you go. Brock did him the biggest favor that I've seen done in the business in a long time. Really, think about it. He just beat Brock Lesnar in 1 minute and 26 seconds. And convincingly. And Bill, they both look great. Bill looked to be in great shape. My concern was that he wouldn't be ready, not for any fault of his own, but to be ready to be bounced around by Brock. But they didn't have to experience it, and it looked like $1 million. So I'm happy for both of them.
We got to give them happy moments, and it'd be nice if they could, I assumed, give Bill a program after Brock, because I didn't expect them to do this. But it did give you a happy moment. It did give you shock, which I think will help follow up on Monday, because people are going to want to know what's going on. And I think, too, and this is the weird thing, that sometimes the quick loss is less damaging than the long one, because you've got the I took him lightly. I got caught off guard. Maybe you do he broke my rib on the first spear. I never got a chance to get my bearings. It's that quick 3-second knockout in MMA where fans wonder, was it a lucky punch? But if you go 4.5 rounds and get finished, then it's a decisive finish. So this might be that, oh my God, upset that's going to get people talking. And like you say, if Bill can have more time to get in shape, because I know he was rushed to get ready for this one, I think this could be a great Mania build. It's what they tried to get with Brock and Randy Orton with that elbow stoppage. And this obviously does far less legitimate damage. Nobody had to get hardweight with an elbow. And it gave Bill that great moment, which is what he wanted to come back for. And now that he's got that, I'm quite sure he's probably willing to do a bit more business. And I'm really excited to see what happens next.
I had no issue with the Goldberg-Lesnar business. It's been around since before I got in the wrestling business in the 70s. Sometimes when you have a situation where you need somebody to break through and get a win over somebody that you don't expect to lose, having the favorite lose quickly lessens the blow. It adds a little, as far as the loser is concerned, a fluke element. If you think that Lesnar got hurt by losing, I got news for you. He didn't. And I'm not being as rude as some people were to me on Twitter, telling me to F off and everything else because I had an opinion. Sad. Really sad. I liked the finish. Had no problem with it. Obviously, it changed when Goldberg took WWE's offer to extend his stay. That's obvious. Certainly easy to orchestrate Lesnar and Goldberg to have another interaction and get them to the destination that I think they should go to blow this thing off, with Lesnar going over there, is at WrestleMania. It's just logical booking.
And I said, I'm looking forward to this match. I think if they're smart about it, if they keep it short, 10 minutes, doesn't have to go longer than that, Brock wins, because what is to be gained by having Goldberg win, especially if this is Goldberg's only match? It makes no sense to waste everything, all the goodwill that you've built up with Brock Lesnar as this unstoppable monster, only for him to lose to a guy who came out of retirement, almost 50 years old. What sense does that make, right? Common sense. What sense does that make? He held Brock Lesnar, all 265 pounds of him, up in the air for a few seconds and dropped him for the jackhammer. This was the Goldberg of 1998. They booked this like a Goldberg squash on Nitro in 98. Raven lasted longer in the ring with Bill Goldberg in his prime than Brock Lesnar did here in the main event of Survivor Series. And in a way, I'm thinking to myself, well, he didn't get hurt. They kept it short. I did say keep it short. I didn't say keep it that short. Overall, I feel cheated. You've spent so much time building this guy up as this monster. Everybody you put in front of him, he knocks him down. And I'm talking top guys. He suplexed John Cena 16 times and beat him like he was a nobody in the main event of SummerSlam. But you know what? At least that match went on for 10 minutes or whatever it was, 12 minutes. Some people might have felt cheated by that. I didn't. We at least got an actual match out of it. It was shocking. It was unexpected. This was also shocking and unexpected. But I'm sorry. This is the match that I personally was looking forward to the most. And a minute and 20 seconds, it's over? Pay-per-view goes off the air, however early it was. I mean, yeah, okay, we didn't need a 4-hour show, but still it was advertised as this big main event match. That's your main event? Really? That's it?
Well, first of all, let me congratulate Goldberg on a big win. I was happy with it. I thought that what probably went down is, Brock Lesnar probably underestimated Goldberg, didn't think it was going to be as quick as it was, and might probably let his guard down. And Goldberg took advantage of that. So, I was happy with it. And, that, like you said, there are a lot of people complaining about it, but, you're always going to have them anywhere you go. But as far as I'm concerned, I was happy with it, and I thought it was done exactly right.
You got 2 spears and a jackhammer, and that was it. But you know something? If you are a fan of Goldberg or any of the matches that Goldberg used to do in the WCW, then, the outcome was perfect. If you wanted to see Brock Lesnar take Goldberg to Suplex City, you didn't get what you wanted. And I kind of question now, maybe, it shouldn't have been the main event. Maybe it should have been the 5-on-5 tag match should maybe ended the show. But I can't disagree with the way they did the finish. I think it was right. I think it was done correctly. It was basically, it's better to have it short and sweet than have a lackluster match that's going to stink up the house. That's how I feel about it. I think that they did the right thing. I think they did, quote unquote, what's best for business. Especially now this rumor see that they're going to have a third match, and it's possibly going to happen at WrestleMania.
We get to see what happens at the Royal Rumble, and I imagine this is probably going to go all the way into WrestleMania too. Then I think after then we'll see exactly, what Goldberg's status is, and we'll see what Brock Lesnar's status will be.
I can understand why it might be a 2-minute match, because maybe they thought we don't want to leave him out there till people see through it, or maybe Goldberg was hurt more than he cared to let on when they said he was hurt doing a little angle on Raw. But to beat Brock Lesnar, who ended the streak, who they have built up as an unbeatable monster, who's the one guy, the biggest drawing card they have, because he's the one guy that people still believe is real in wrestling since everything else has been exposed. And he gets beat in 2 minutes by a guy that now is going to come back, I guess, for Royal Rumble. Well, thank you for coming back again, since you just beat the biggest name in the fucking business in 2 minutes, flat, clean, with no rebuttal. But are they thinking 2 months ahead to the Royal Rumble instead of 2 years ahead? Why wouldn't one of their young talents, why wouldn't a guy that they've got for the next 10 years, if they want him, be the one to beat Brock Lesnar and get that rub and make a new superstar instead of a guy that was already a superstar that's going to wrestle maybe once more, maybe a handful of times more, but certainly not. I can't get my mind around the fact that they're thinking 2 months ahead and not 2 years ahead, unless it's because, unfortunately, in the wrestling business today, there are no grown adult men that look like they can whip somebody to where you could make a star by beating Brock. Could that be it? What do you think?